missions. Missions originated with the Great Commission. And the greatest missionary ever was the Son, Jesus Christ. He was the greatest missionary. Missionary goes to proclaim the gospel where Christ is not known. Could be different lands like Australia, Somalia, Africa. But do you know the greatest evangelized area is the United States and Canada? So we have a whole area here that has not been evangelized yet, totally. But America has. So the Bible says that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So we need laborers for this harvest field. Many people think, and many years ago, it was very common to say that a missionary call, that it was a call. But if that were true, what about a person who says they're called to be a pastor? Is that the same call? Somebody would say, Mr. Cook and Mr. Weber from this book that I read, What in the World is God Doing? That is the name of the book. He says that, why don't we say guidance? Or why don't we say burden? Or why don't we say conviction for the lost? Why do we say a call? Because some people, and many thousands of people who serve the Lord, have been waiting for years and years for this some mysterious call, and they never go anywhere, they never share the gospel message. So this call was thought about years ago, but through the times, people waited and got comfortable and just never went out. That's what happens. But if you look at the Old Testament, let's look at the Old Testament for a minute. Right here, come and see. Old Testament Israel. God spoke to Israel and the nations. And he did miraculous acts for Israel. Why? So that the nations could come to Israel. Israel could say to the people, to the nations, look what God did. So it's a come and see. So that was missionary work there in the Old Testament. So the people came to Israel. The people were supposed to say to the nations, look what God did. Come and see what God did for us. And then they would come to God in faith and be saved. Not as a salvation as with Jesus Christ, but regardless, faith unto righteousness. Today, in the New Testament, it's a go and tell. So that's after the day of Pentecost. Now we go out